inverted magazine and flip through it. I always gotta do a dance break in the beginning because this menu music is so good. Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Danganronpa. We are continuing on with chapter 4 and now we are into investigation because a body has been discovered and it's Sakura, out of all people. I didn't think it would be her. Honestly, I was hoping it was Hiro or Toko because those two are getting on my nerves. But unfortunately it was Sakura, but I feel like this one is gonna surprise me just because like the people who I think could do it might not do it, so I don't know what's gonna happen here. All I know is this was probably gonna be heartbreaking just because I feel bad for Sakura. I actually really liked her. With that being said, if you guys have been enjoying the Danganronpa series, remember to leave a like on this video. Your support does help this channel and lets me know you guys want more Danganronpa episodes. So let's continue because I'm gonna start dancing some more because this music's so good. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. Oh, no other injuries were noted. I really thought it was gonna be like poison. Maybe it is, we still don't know. However, it seems that at this point, the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. There it is, the poison.
Hey.
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
So...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut from the chair from the inside of the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
In other words,
this has a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But it really happened in real life and right before our very eyes like this?
Hey.
Are you curious to hear more about what the locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created, after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits a crime, even through some special method seals the door. This mainly involves some kind of trick involving locking the room. Basic approach includes using a string or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for all of that, all we have to do is check the door to see if what was right?
Correct.
The second type is the locked room already exists before the crime was committed. Oh?
In other words,
basically the killer uses a special contraption or a tool from the outside to trigger the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through the gap of the door, something like that. Yeah, but I don't really see it as something like this. Here's what my theory is right now. Whoever poisoned Sakura, because like she slumped over sitting down, right? I don't think she was hit from the blow to the head. I feel like maybe it was her passing out. Like she hit her head in something because she was like vomiting blood. But in this case, it doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school and the door doesn't have any gap that will allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross it off the list.
It's true.
There's a third type when the killer strays the room until it's open. What do you mean by that?
In other words,
they stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. Ooh, that's true too. There are some lockers around. Somebody could be hiding and waiting. That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe?
It's true.
And the fourth and final type is it wasn't actually a locked room after all. Not a locked room.
In other words,
by that I mean there was actually an alternative escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
Indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locker room mysteries, there are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then Kyoko, which one of those 4 possibilities seem to be most likely in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The only way the killer could set up a locked room, until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Okay, let's take- see? Look at that! What's going on over here? Huh? The locker's open, and there's- and on the inside, a handprint?
Why?
What's the handprint doing here?
It looks like somebody touched the inside of a locker and left the handprint, all the dust.
It's true.
Looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding in the locker and left behind a little something extra.
So then, maybe the killer hid in there until the locker room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility.
Huh? Why not?
Hey,
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? It was already open.
Oh yeah, the locker was already open at that point.
indeed.
So there's no way someone could have been hidden there after we opened the door. Yeah, so then what do the handprints mean? The powdery substance, I'm going to assume, is probably her protein powder. That's what I'm guessing right now. Okay, let's see what else. There's shards of glass scattered all over the chair Sakura is sitting on. Oh, the glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? Was she hit? Huh? There's something on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. This looks like some kind of wrapper. Huh? That's...
Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well,
yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm her down a little.
So you gave that candy to Sakura?
I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really liked them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. Damn! I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them.
You really like them that much?
I mean,
But I wanted Sakura to have a chance to try herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they're all lost their flavor.
Hina.
Okay, so candy. Looks like she opened it too. Alright, let's check out the... I'm gonna check Sakura's body in a second. I just want to check the other stuff first. There's a blood stain in the front of the magazine shelf. Must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make any sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Okay. What's going on over here? What? There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room.
so
It looks like a protein drink and it's empty.
Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein is good for all sorts of ailments.
wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you.
I know.
But still, this protein can, it's got a label that says Chem A2. I don't think that's protein. Maybe it's not? I don't know. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the chem lab had all kind of health stuff. Must have gotten some from the chem lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange.
Huh? What is it?
You see this scattered around the can?
Shards of blue glass. They must be part of the window I broke to get inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it.
Why does that matter?
That means it was there before, Makoto, Jesus!
So,
I can't say for sure, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. There are 4 bottles lined up on the shelf. Inside each bottle is some kind of Monokuma figure. Wondering how those figures got inside the bottle.
so,
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle.
Huh?
You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside. You've never seen that?
Oh, yeah. Maybe I have.
I feel like everyone has, right?
in other words,
So this is the Monokuma version of a Monokuma bottle, if you will. Okay. So we got that.
I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little.
The Monokuma bottle is sitting on the shelf. Yep, that's the one we found on the ground. Yep. Which means Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? Okay, so that's probably the weapon. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she also vomited blood. Right, and I can see traces of blood on her lips for sure. So, what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically says she hadn't suffered any other injuries.
Maybe her getting hit in the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood?
Not a chance.
Byakuya?
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location.
Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree?
No, I don't think I'd call it interesting.
But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Yeah, that protein shake.
What the heck?
We already know who did it! Byakuya, Toka, or Hiro. It has to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. I can't stand freaking Hina. Like, seriously. Why do you keep doing this? And more so, if you're so upset about Sakura's death, wouldn't you want to find out who did it? You know what I mean? Take all the best courses of action before it actually happens. Because remember when Sayaka died in the first part, Makoto was so determined to figure it out. Hina just seems to be quick to blame people instead of actually finding the truth.
Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding more.
Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room.
What?
After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said that she left a note for each of them. Why? She asked them to meet in the rec room by noon. Telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And then this happened. If I had stopped her, by force even, this would never have happened.
You know,
It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Okay, so we have her account. But the fact that she asked those three to meet with her, and then she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying. Yeah, see, that kind of seems so weird, because why exactly at noon did she die? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so weird. Too much of a coincidence. Might be good to confirm what I just over the three of them directly. But for Sakura to have been killed.
Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
It's true.
And certainly didn't, I would say. She's the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So, how was the killer able to get an upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand?
They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly, they wouldn't have needed it if they expected to stand any chance against her. What do you want? You're bothering me. This guy.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Make it quick.
Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet in the rec room?
So, you found out. Interesting.
That it's true?
I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster?
So you didn't go to see her?
Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Yaka says he didn't see her. Is that the truth? You know what? I feel like that's the truth. As much of as an idiot like Byakuya is, I don't think he would just like kill someone like that. By poison too, because I'm pretty sure it's poison once again. By poison too, don't think so. Don't think it's his style. I feel like it's too easy, and Byakuya is somebody who likes to like play around with people, so I don't think this is it. He's definitely not it.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight.
Okay, thanks.
I gotta talk to the other two. Oh, that's the chair that blocked it. There's no evidence of any kind of string mechanism used on the chair.
In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it.
So, Sakura died an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego? Right. Was that when that was happening? The store's the only way out, in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have any lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is its smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke to get inside. There's no evidence of any kind of string or mechanism to use the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and chair, there's no doubt the reason it didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and then the door from opening. There was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created a lock from the door from the inside, not from the outside. Okay.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished your general investigation?
Yeah, I think so for the most part.
So then,
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She decided? She's got a lot more pushy since we had our issue. She's right, I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wants to meet up with two people. I need to hear what they have to say. Alright, let's go see the other lunatics. Alright, let's start off with Toko. I pressed the doorbell. For a few seconds.
Who's there?
The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
What do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
Okay. She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something.
I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
Huh?
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Byakuya already told me that she had asked to meet with him.
What? She wanted to meet with Master 2? I just said 2, didn't I? That sounds totally obvious, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it?
I'd admit, I did get a note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't even see her, but can I really believe her? Did she see her, or did Genocide Jill see Sakura, you know? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Okay, that's good enough, I guess. Let's see what Hiro has to say.
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check on something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
What?
How did you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have you special ability awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet. Ogre told me herself she asked for Byakuya and Toka to come too.
What? When did Sakura tell you that?
When she asked to meet with her, of course.
But didn't you say she wrote you a note? Yeah, I know. Sure.
How about that?
She gave it to me in person, and then she happened to mention the others, like in passing.
Why are you being weird? I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious.
So then you went to meet with Sakura?
Got it all wrong.
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
The last time I saw Ogre was with Hina, got hurt, and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then.
While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you?
Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big, goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. When he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen in Hiro's pocket. Didn't Hina say she only gave it to Sakura?
Huh?
What?
Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just got a bit of treasure I forgot to throw out.
Trash?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said he just trashed, but there's no way that was all there to it. Okay, he's getting weird. I don't like that. Would Hiro really do it? I mean, I did suspect him in the last episode, but now he's making it so obvious. Okay, so I've heard from Toku and Hiro. What's next? We definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, let's go to the chem lab. That's a good idea. Oh, Byakuya's here. Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way.
Yeah, I got it.
I think what you mean to say was, yes, sir, I understand. What the hell's wrong with him? Anyway, what the heck is all this? This isn't my first time seeing this shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. Should probably take a closer look. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. More important, but what's more important right now, this powder has been spilled right in front of the shelf. I have to be careful not to step in it. What is that? Poison! The broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking on things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled.
So in other words...
That's right, it only could have been around the time of the incident. If that's really what happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Okay. There's some footprints too. These are footprints, and in front of it is the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out a floor plan.
By we, do you mean me?
How kind of you to offer. Just several smoke. He handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
What?
Well, let's go, chop chop.
Oh, okay.
So I got to work, and before long I had drawn up a sketch of the room.
So how's this?
Not bad. For you, I mean. For me.
I see.
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that the whole left of these it appeared whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. Then came in and went straight to the shelf. Did whatever they had to do and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must
It's
be...
certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours?
No!
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoe and confirm their size for myself. Couldn't think of any other reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya asked. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints.
Unfortunately.
But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Wait, he said that they're too small than Makoto. I don't think Makoto would really be someone who has big shoe size, because look how small he is compared to the other characters. So it might be a female character. Again, this is why I'm getting so suspicious of Hina, I'm just saying. Okay, anyway, this shelf specifically, right? Let's see, what's on the shelf? These are all kind of dietary supplements and different kinds of medicine. The protein powder we found in the rec room probably came from the shelf. Yeah, letter A. Chem A, right?
Huh? But wait! The one on the bottle there is labeled...
The one on the bottle there is labeled Chem C9. Did someone put it there on accident? Chem C9 is this one. Yeah, it's all dangerous chemicals. Looks like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All contained on the shelf is labeled with the letter C. So I guess I consider the part of the shelf until section C. And this is all the stuff that has B. Use experience to bring about a chemical reaction. Based on this positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have been spilled right around the time of the incident. So that's all I can tell for now. Makoto, I must admit, you have a good eye for spotting useful clues. But you also need to learn how to make use of those clues. You don't need to insult me, sir! So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming that they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
These two things have revealed new clues. You do well to look over them one more time. Okay, so the bottles and the magazines, right? I think Yoka said they found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles? Something new. Something new.
Hey.
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. Correlation?
Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
So...
I don't mind guiding you towards the clue, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come up with their own conclusion so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome.
And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer?
I do trust you to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree? No, it's the same with everybody else. You only trust them to a certain degree because everyone can just turn into a murderer in this game. Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right?
An experiment?
Anyway.
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too.
Are you sure it's okay to mess with a crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so.
So then.
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, I'll try to gather up all the glass. That, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. Just as I finished up. Sorry to keep you waiting.
So then,
Is everything ready? Let's get to work.
So what kind of experiment are we doing?
in other words,
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of wood, the piece of glass you collected, and the one of the Monokuma bottles that are still intact.
Why would you want to do that?
That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done. To see the weight of it? First, let's compare the weight of the two normal Monokuma bottles.
It's
in other
balanced.
words,
Which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same.
Which makes sense. The Monokuma figure inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the
so
weight.
then,
Now, let's come to the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. What might you expect to see?
Well, a normal assumption would be either they balance out, or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to collect all of them, but there's a chance I could have missed some here or there.
so then,
Okay, let's give it a try.
Huh?
It weighs more. That's actually surprising. I thought it would weigh less even with some missing pieces. The broken pieces are heavier?
How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought.
In
What?
other words,
The result of our experiment, the correlation between each bottle to put it all together. And I believe you'll arrive to a very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. Clue. The magazine's upside down. Did someone put it back on accident?
hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that detail, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right.
I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. Toko? This is... One of the pages near the center of the magazine has the words written in bloody letters. Toko. Yo, this is reminiscent of Sayaka's murder. Could this be?
A dying message?
correct.
Then it would appear you found it.
Kyoko, is this...
So,
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their fingers to write it. Dying message.
however,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Then she's the killer, right?
Well, that hasn't been confirmed yet.
It's settled. She's a killer for sure. That conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes that much more suspicious. Yeah, it kind of seems too easy. Also, like, would Sakura think to do that? In terms of Sayaka's message, she really was hoping, you know, Makoto would figure it out. Sakura, remember she said before she died, she's willing to die if she can fight the mastermind, right? She fights them and it will atone for her sins, even if it results in her dying. So, in my opinion, whoever killed her, regardless if it's Toko or not, I think she wanted to die anyway because she wanted to repent for, you know, working with the mastermind and betraying everybody. So I don't think Sakura would just leave her killer's name on there. I feel like that's planted. Okay, according to Kyoko, there's something that's still to be discovered on Sakura's body. Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure out anything.
Well, yeah, I know, but...
hey,
Don't you think you might actually need to examine the body?
whew,
There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing that I've grown persuasively used to. Although, there are still sometimes...
I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to
it's
it.
true.
That's totally normal.
Then, how can you?
So,
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past.
What?
Sorry, never
Hey.
mind. More importantly, look here. Oh! Her shoes?
correct.
The yellow powder! You see that yellow powder in her instep?
Yeah, it really stands
I
out.
see.
That powder is clue number 1. Yup.
Hey,
Next would be the wound to her head. Look carefully.
It's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow. It says she received 2 blows to the head. 2?
Indeed.
There's only 1 bottle on the ground, though.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned in examining her body in detail. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Already? It's already time? But the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever will happen to the at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. The ultimate martial artist! The locked room on murder mystery!
What?
What the? Oh, I just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful something is, you just toss in a smiley face and it turns positive! Yes! You're at a picnic and you find a dead body! God. This is just plain creepy.
Well?
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
Yes, indeed.
For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right, that does make it seem sad.
I can't wait.
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me.
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean.
I mean, I didn't murder anyone. What the heck? I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer? What the heck? Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. Just 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few. You must be so lonely. You say that it's like not your fault. We're all that's left. I wonder, will the class round end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely?
Now then.
Are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. I like how the room is different again. All right, here we go again.
We already know who did it.
Whoa, deja vu.
Right, Hina said that last time too.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I'd never kill someone. No
Okay,
way.
Hiro, you kind of made yourself look guilty,
I don't want
though.
to hear your stupid excuses.
Hina seems really sure about the ones of those 3 as the killer. But she must have some reason for believing that. Alright, let's see what everybody has to say.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
Right, that doesn't.
That's the only reason you have for accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
You have for accusing?
No,
That's not the only reason. It's a motive because of that note or whatever.
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those 3 killed her.
Can't disagree with Hina. There's a good reason to suspect all 3 of them. That does mean that one of them did it, right? Okay, we'll see. Yeah, that hero with the candy trash, that's kind of weird. And Hina specifically says she only kept them for
The fact
herself.
that Sakura wanted to meet with all 3 of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
Okay, he said he never went.
I didn't either.
She didn't?
Yeah, same here. I never saw her.
Okay.
Come on. There's no way none of
I
you
guess
went.
I'm gonna have to challenge Hiro because he's
At
the
least
one that has
one of you
the
is
candy.
lying.
Which, again, Hina only gave to Sakura.
I never saw her.
No, that's wrong.
Let me hear Hiro's excuse.
Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dot? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's
What? He can't even say
Ever
anything!
since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura. It's the only explanation.
Or you, because you have the entire box!
well, I mean, yeah, sure I got it from her, but
Okay.
she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
Didn't Hina just say she gave it to her when she was at the nurse's office? But what Hiro said can't be right, because Sakura could have only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the only reason I know that is, Sakura loved candy too much to share. Hiro got the candy from Hina when Sakura got that candy.
I got it! I'm not sure about that, Hiro. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office. So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it. I mean, what I meant was, oh, that's right. I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Why is he all of a sudden flipping the switch right now? What is wrong with this? This is why I can't tell. Like, is he actually this stupid that he can't remember anything? Or is it just like him being a bad actor?
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
No, I'm gonna have to agree with Toko here. You are acting suspicious.
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
The what?
At the scene of the crime,
Oh, that,
she
yeah.
had written out Toko in her own blood.
Wait,
right?
how does he know that? Didn't he leave before we can investigate the room?
It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it.
What?
What are you saying? No way! I didn't do it!
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
Hiro, hold on. When did you see that dying message? of
Right,
hers?
exactly. You left.
Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Yeah, and you were so eager to get the hell out anyway. Huh? Hold on. But when Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message in it, it was under the magazine, above the magazine, on the magazine shelf.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make
No, it
sense.
doesn't.
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
No! There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case, that clearly contradicts what Hiro told us. Wait, how did he know about us saying about the dying message and everything? Because we only had that conversation in the rec room. And he wasn't there? What?
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. Discovered.
Oh, no, that's not it. I think I have to, like,
I can tell
highlight
you
somebody's
exactly
message.
when I
think that's what
found
I'm
the
doing.
dying when Ogre's body was discovered.
There we go, I got it.
No,
Sorry.
When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it. after we
Right.
begun the investigation.
And she put it back where she found it too, after he left.
And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message?
Hold on. You're focusing on the wrong part. Why does it matter when I saw it?
Did he find Sakura before everyone else? Because remember, the announcement will only go off if 3 or more people find the dead body, and he's only one person. Is that why he knows about that? And he was so eager to leave because he's already seen everything?
All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is.
What the
Toko!
fuck is he talking about?
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
He's just trying to confuse us.
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that
Thank you!
message in the
I don't
first
think
place?
it's her.
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message.
No.
100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
Wait, you can't really compare their handwriting to if she's dying, like, you know. Without a doubt. No, I absolutely doubt. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, God, not this again. I'm really bad at this.
Show me the proof. I'm at least the occultist bullcrap.
Oh my God! I failed!
Occultist bullcrap.
There we go. Oh my God.
Show me the proof.
This should prove it.
There we go. There we go. There, I'm so bad at that game.
I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. Both of her hands were completely free of blood.
That is true. Unlike Sayaka, she did have blood on her hands.
What?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
What the fuck?
He admits it.
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
Really? You're admitting to killing
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
And when I got there...
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure, thanks.
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. Going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just...
No, but that's not what killed her,
I didn't
though.
see her
That's
move
what
again
seems...
after that.
Yeah.
Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Yeah, that's kind of dumb for doing
Well,
that.
that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura.
Again, that's not how she died,
You're
and
ready
it's
to
not
vote
Hiro.
now, right? We know who did it.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain, and until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
So what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make any sense? Like, what else would he have do? What else would he have to do after writing the message that doesn't make any sense? Why the magazine was hidden, why he picked Toko, why didn't he use Sakura's finger? I don't know. Toko? Oh no. Why the magazine was hidden?
I got it! That's true. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh. Well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Oh, the plot thickens.
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already
Right,
confessing
what's
to
the
the crime.
what's the point of like just lying about that?
He's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
But then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Toko?
I got it!
It's her name.
It had to be Toko, right? Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Was he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter! We already know who
Okay,
did
girl,
it, right?
why are you deflecting now too?
Hero just admitted
Everybody,
it!
these two keep making themselves look more and more suspect.
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
Toko, shut
I
up.
doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
What do you mean?
We found powder. Byakuya, you're my
What
witness.
he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious! That's just... I don't believe it!
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer, and I have to prove that. All right, here we go again.
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby,
Right?
and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once. After the first swing, the bottle shattered, and she went limp.
See? Isn't it obvious? Hero really is the killer!
But okay, so Hiro hit Sakura, that's for sure. But that doesn't end there. There's something that proves that the wounds on her head.
Once.
No, it's wrong!
Because all the stuff that we examined with Kyoko.
If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles.
Wait, now that I'm looking at them, there's 2 missing, and we only found 1.
Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used. Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf. And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
Because I remembered that when the 4th floor, it was the 3rd floor, first opened up and we went into the rec room because Celeste was in there the first time we went in there, and I saw those bottles. I remember.
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Also, yes, all the chess pieces that were in it. kind of hard to miss. I don't know what that is. Oh, chess piece. I see again another mini game that I'm terrible at. There we go.
Now I understand. That's it. The chess pieces. Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn.
I haven't played chess in such a long time, but chess is pretty
intact at
fun.
the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while one apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Hero, shut up.
Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait, the bottle that was missing was broken, completely intact. It was exciting. What does that mean? Broken, because it was heavier when we weighed them, remember? So that means we collected extra pieces.
I got it!
It was broken already.
The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
Because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found
Yep.
evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle, and the evidence that proves it is... Kyoko and I figured it out. Yup, it was the weight. This one, the bottle experiment.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles.
Now that explains it why
And
one
what
was
we
heavier
found
than
was
the
that
other.
the collection of pieces was heavier.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
There
press
was
on
actually
that.
more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces, which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
Exactly.
Why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
I can only no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by some bowling aficionado. Sakura's second attacker, her first attacker. Because again, Hiro is the second person, right? Oh, I meant to say second attacker, okay, game?
The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Right, to look around and snoop.
I admit, maybe there was a
And
second
again,
attack, but-
also another thing, remember when Byakuya asked both of them, you don't want to be in this room anyway, right? If you're both innocent, they both agreed so quickly.
But there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy
Oh my
I am.
god.
Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You
Pretty
did?
soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in.
Oh, she was probably the one hiding in the locker then,
When I
right?
got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
It seems like you forgot about a lot of
Someone
things.
tighten the screws on his brain. I think they've come loose.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
It's probably genocide Joe.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous.
The locker!
Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room. And I have it. She left it there for anyone to find. Alright. New element? Oh god, what now? Now you're gonna have to pay a little extra attention to finishing your blow. You have to choose a proper truth bullet. Oh, I can't even just pick whatever I want. Oh, okay, so now I have to pick, like, whatever bullet makes sense and then use it. Oh my god, here we go again. I gotta remember I have to reload. I always forget. Because they added that.
It's a lie. I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie!
Okay, now I gotta make sure I put the one.
Enough!
This should prove it.
That. There we go. It's so much more pressure.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking.
Oh, I guess so that wasn't powder, it was just...
Does this
How it
handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't.
Also, your hands are small, so it's kind of obvious.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up.
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted
Well,
it.
Yakuya's the one who
Then
asked.
you killed Sakura!
No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
Oh my god!
Straight up again.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
Yeah, Byakuya, maybe you should interrogate her.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on, so I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name.
That's how she
I
knows.
saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after you left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around,
Oh.
there was Sakura covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw all that blood, I fainted right there in front
Right,
of the
because she's scared of
magazines.
blood. So I was right. It was Genocide
I don't
Jill.
remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
Her?
Yeah. Guess it's back!
It was your fault after all.
My fault! Master's fault! fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Master's fault?
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories, so I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to... Splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find!
Which was the bottle.
Was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag
Jesus
me in.
Christ!
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack no problem.
Right, that's kind of true.
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's, you know. But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
So that's good. Keep talking like that, and Hina's
Well
gonna...
then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
No, I hate that Hina's always so eager to just end the trial. Girl? Huh? I thought for sure you had some words for Hiro on
What's
that
wrong?
one.
Come on, everyone. We're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
Girl, you're looking more and more suspicious.
No, not quite yet.
Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd. Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it. Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? Then who killed Sakura? The one who killed Sakura is... Oh my god, here we go again. We have to talk about that powder. That powder has to, like,
I
come
was
into
just
play.
sleeping peacefully. And all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up.
The
I
magazine.
killed her there in front of the shelf.
So the second shot from Toko's where is what killed Sakura. Then the problem is, where did Sakura die? It was on the couch. Huh?
I was just
Okay, so
sleeping
we're not talking about the
peacefully.
powder just yet.
And all of a sudden,
This.
Sakura was right there in front. I remember waking up.
You were taken by surprise. So you smashed her head.
You got it!
And where did the attack?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
That doesn't make any sense.
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
Yes, we finally did.
Just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Hina.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
Yup. That has to be it. The evidence that proves that the attack was in front of the magazine shelf. The blood?
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stained by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it.
How would she
Because when
pick
I
up-
hit her,
pick up
she was sitting in the
Sakura,
chair.
she's huge!
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room,
Right.
still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
Again, we already ruled this out.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
And the reason for that is because I saw it myself. It was in the locker. The locker is too small. No, I saw it for myself. We saw the locker open.
I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, so obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then. Where was she hiding?
There's nowhere to hide, Hiro. Shut up.
No! What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
We still haven't even talked about the
But if
poison.
Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Will you really be missing something? Come on, Makoto, you were there. Yeah, these people are so stupid. Oh, God.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me, huh?
Oh, wait, the
was it that
Monokuma
killed
file, I
Ogre?
guess.
Anything other
There we go.
No, that's wrong! According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her
She
mouth.
got hit behind. Hina can't be this dumb. Can she? Can she be really this stupid? This is why I don't trust her.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
Yep.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit
The
blood?
poison.
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Yep.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Byakuya, please take the stage because we all know you like to be center of attention.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Right.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's
Yep.
not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Bottle poison Byakuya just showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. Same shelf as the supplements. I'm positive. Section A.
I got it! The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
You just said that
Yeah, but
Section A
somebody
was for
switched it around.
supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips and...
Master!
What the hell is he doing? We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do was stand there and watch. But as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in
it switched. They emptied out the poison. And put the protein in there, or like what?
You have to drink some water. You can't just swallow powder. It'll stick to your throat.
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein? Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took a look at took the bottle from Gyakuya and scraped out the bit of contents with one finger. She touched it with her finger on it.
It's protein powder.
So, what was spilled on the ground was protein powder?
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
Yeah, it was in her bottle instead. The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder, which could only mean conversely the poison must have been... Could it be?
Now I understand. The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched, so the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
But why were they switched? And who switched them? That's the question.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene. The protein drink.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
Okay, share it with the class, why don't you?
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab
Yeah,
for
the
anyone
footprints.
to see.
The footprints. Footprints, right?
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem.
Yeah, we just gotta check everybody's shoes.
All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
What?
It was me.
Was I right this entire time? It was Hina.
The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Ogre's killer was...
Yep.
Did she willingly do it? Or did she not know? Because I can understand if it's a mistake, right? Because that makes more sense to me. But these two are considered friends.
I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected.
Right, I suspected that already too!
The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers, huh? The only people that wear sneakers are... me. Yeah, that's why he asked me. And
I got it!
yeah. And he was disappointed.
Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial
Thank
began.
Thank you! I already said this! Why was she so adamant on ending the trial?
if you're best friends with Sakura, this is your best friend, you would want to find out who did it. That's why I was comparing it to Makoto and Sayaka's first trial. Like the first trial, he was so adamant in figuring out who did it. You would think Hina would do the same thing, considering Sakura is like her best friend.
You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you?
Right! Thank you, Byakuya!
This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
So she did it on purpose?
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true?
Did you act? Because I'm thinking she did it by accident.
Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink, but when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once.
Really did it on purpose?
And then...
Hold it. I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do
No,
you?
hang on.
The game we're playing here isn't so
Byakuya, shut up, bro.
Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves, just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Yeah.
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
Oh my god, I think I know what's happening.
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
Another thing, Hina was so adamant on defending Sakura. Remember, she's like, how come nobody believes her? What can I do to make you believe her? So would it be crazy to think that she would just put it on herself instead of Sakura doing it herself? If you get my drift, because I can't say I'm gonna get demonetized on YouTube.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Hina, you're not that much of an airhead.
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please. I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the
you did
culprit.
your part. Get the hell out of here.
There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them.
But how would you switch them if the bottle's already on the ground?
Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A.
There's no footprints there. That's true. Isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
I forgot she calls him Big Mac.
It's the same thing no matter how many times
oh
you
my
hear it.
god,
How long
Byakuya,
until you're
who's
satisfied?
the dumbass now? How long until we figure it out? Till I cover the truth of the full of this case. Oh my god, this case is a long one, definitely. There's so many layers to it.
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
Okay.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How
Okay,
much
yeah,
longer
it's
must
when
we
she
tolerate
walked
this?
across, because she did not walk across.
From Section C. No, that's wrong.
Good thing Byakuya told us to drop that plan. You figured a
You
smart
said
guy
you
like
went to
him
get
would
the
notice.
poison from Section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I left a footprint.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Now he just realizes it.
Well,
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
She probably only picked it up because Sakura asked her to.
well, you see...
What the hell? What's going on here?
Oh my god, he's actually shocked!
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account. What? Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
This is actually kind of funny. I can't believe Byakuya is actually stumped.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
A piece of glass! Oh, the glass that she was... Byakuya! What's that about?
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then, Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Huh? Me?
From the door, from the door!
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of
Damn,
that
this
shard
man
of
is actually
glass.
panicking! The shard of light blue glass Kyoko found in the bottle of poison. I think I remember now. I broke something in the same shade of blue. Rec room window.
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the rec room window? According to Hina told us, it was in, Section A, right?
I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina?
What is going on right now?
And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back
Yeah,
to the
how
shelf
did it
in the chem
magically
lab.
get there, and how convenient that Byakuya has it.
Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Exactly, because remember, Kyoko said the bottle, the protein can, was on top of the glass. That makes no sense if we're the one who punched the glass out. Somebody's lying here.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast.
Oh, Byakuya, shut the f up right now.
I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked.
Nah, you're lying.
But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Oh, she could have been poisoned by the candy. I just forgot about that.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded
I
question?
like how bad he's getting this. This is so funny.
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene
Yeah.
after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
He's so pissed. The reason she can say that is because there's evidence to prove that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was open, because it was on top of the damn glass that we've opened it.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
Oh, okay, I think I did it wrong. Hang on.
It had to have been in there. It had to be. It was.
There we go, I got it.
No, that's wrong. You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
So mad.
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put
Yeah.
down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
Now what, Byakuya? You got something to say for yourself?
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over...
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
Right, because somebody accidentally moved
So
it.
you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility
Yes,
right out of
Makoto,
the
you don't
gate.
gotta explain
And
now.
that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
If that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Oh god, isn't exactly what I feared too?
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
Oh my god!
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
No, it's not ridiculous. Thinking back, remember what I said earlier, Sakura wouldn't mind if she had to die in the process of defeating the mastermind, right? It doesn't mean she wouldn't mind dying if it means she can save her friends.
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Oh!
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room? It had to have been Sakura, because she also had some powder on her shoe.
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence we need. Now we have to hit Hina with it, and I have to make her accept it. Yeah, her shoe was covered in the poison. Oh god, here we go again. Hang on.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking!
She's covering for Sakura, that's what it is.
You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking!
Okay, and now I have to like switch out
Do you
the
have
thing.
any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it.
Yep.
Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
I really wish she would stop calling her that. It still pisses me off.
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison! Because I killed her!
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't kill her.
One that killed Sakura. Actually means Sakura had the poison, the unsolved mystery of the locker room. The only way to explain it. She did it herself. Right? Where's Sakura's picture?
Here's my answer. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
Oh my god.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
And also remember the way that they found her body. She's sitting on the couch. She was smiling. It looked like she was kind of like at peace.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life.
Oh my god. I think it's because she couldn't live with the fact that she was working with the mastermind. Also, she wanted to atone for that. And then whoever Monokuma was talking about, they have a hostage or something like that. Ugh.
And that explains
She
why
also
we
didn't
couldn't
want to
solve
kill
the
anyone.
mystery of the locked room.
Because of course, Sakura wanted to create the locked room.
I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina?
Yeah, she was trying to make it look like it was her and not Sakura.
You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door because you already knew Sakura was dead and because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual
Yeah,
your
everything she
actions
did
were.
during it was so weird. How she did it, especially because she didn't want Byakuya. Because remember, aside from Kyoko, Byakuya's pretty good at investigating. She wanted everybody else out of the room.
You said you were going to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers.
Which explains
Once you were at the chem lab,
why
you
the
headed straight
footprints
to
were
the
there,
section
like
where the protein powder was
Byakuya
kept.
was saying.
There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room, while everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
Yep.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death.
But why though? Why would you want to do that?
That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence. And yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! I killed her! I did it!
No, girl, you
That's
didn't.
enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You're right.
Huh?
We have to end this properly.
Oh, closing climax. Oh, right, we have to do the story. Okay, hang on.
This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya.
That was on purpose then. Was it to frame? Was it to frame that? See, this one I'm confused about. Okay, I'm gonna shut my mouth.
But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death?
Poison.
It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion.
I want to hear Hina's reason for doing that. The only thing I can think of is just like she wants to protect Sakura and maybe go along with her. I don't know.
And the one who went to all that effort was you, Hina. That's the full truth of the
So wait,
case.
no one will really die, right? Because technically Sakura's the one who did it.
Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But Makoto, how did you manage to...
How did I manage to what? Are you impressed now?
How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case.
Yup. So guess who's the dumbass now?
See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
Yep. Yeah, him thinking everybody's not friends and everything like that, kind of stupid. I always get an A rank.
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You seriously forgot?
What's the point? We know it's Sakura.
I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice, and maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote!
Honestly, this is so messed up that it was Sakura who did it, but it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The only one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
My entire...
Okay, we're done here.
What did you say?
So that's the whole truth, huh? I see. But still, one thing that I don't understand.
Come on.
Hina, why did you try to cover up what happened? I want to know that part. If the truth hadn't come to light, you would have died along with the rest of us.
What are you thinking?
And yet why would you do that?
Don't be mean!
Yeah, we were almost dead there.
What is this?
Because that's exactly what I wanted.
What?
I mean, the reason Sakura died is because all you pushed her in a corner. You all killed her.
I don't think that's what... That can't be the reason why. I think it's because she blames herself, but I don't think she blames it on everyone else. There's no way.
That's why.
You should have been the one to die.
Couldn't let her be the only one that died.
What?
You don't mean you were gonna take us all with you? We have to atone for our sins. Because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We have to pay for our crimes.
What?
For serious? That's...
What is this?
You still don't understand? Then let me explain.
Do you realize just how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this! Such a brutality has made me desperate. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand. That's...
I found it on the ground in front of the rec room. It's Sakura's note.
A note?
Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It was right after Genocide Dragon attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed out of the nurse's office. I ran out after her and... Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine.
I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me.
No forgiveness!
You tried to protect me, but because of me.
I can't forgive
my
this!
closest friend got her. She wants the fighting to stop. I don't think it's a matter of like her being depressed or anything like that. She's willing to sacrifice herself if it means protecting her friends. Sakura? Because of me. My friends are going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility.
Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault. Which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked to meet with them. You asked to meet with those three? You can't. Don't you see how dangerous that is?
Don't worry. I just want to talk with them.
But...
Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. If they're all getting up at you at once, even you...
Hina.
Please, don't think of it like that. They're not my enemy.
They're friends.
Oh, man.
Sakura? She clearly believed. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. She was a friend to all of us. And yet...
Why?
And yet...
Right. They all did it anyway.
You trampled over her feelings and then you did the unthinkable.
No, that was just a misunderstanding.
What are you saying? Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you and you wouldn't listen to what she had to say. Without asking a single question, you tried to kill her.
Forgive
Do you have any idea how desperate she was seeing you act like that? That's what her notes means. Instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand.
Why?
That's how far you pushed her.
Huh?
Sakura, what happened to you?
Hina.
Oh, so she saw her before she died. Hina, you came.
Wait right there, I'll help you out.
Hina.
Huh?
I'm so glad I got to meet you.
What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that?
I have a favor to ask.
Huh?
A favor?
Some protein.
Can I ask you to?
Yeah, you got it. Just hang on. I'll be right back. That was the last conversation I had with her. I went to clean it to the chem lab and get the protein she asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder. That's when I realized I saw someone had taken something from the poison shelf. Sakura. So I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could. By the time I got there, it was already too late. Sakura!
Please!
Let me in! Please open the door!
Why?
Why?
Why did she have to die? She had a weakness just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If she hurt, she felt it. That's weakness. That's normal. And yet...
Why?
You all blamed her. I tried to protect her and I suffered for it. And I just added the weight she had to carry. And I didn't even realize it. Hina. We killed her, all of us. We pushed her into a corner and murdered her.
Why?
People like us shouldn't be allowed to live. And that's why you tried to lead us astray? You did your best to make sure... You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial? Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her of any regrets. But even that got found out in the end. I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her after this.
Hey!
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're about to deliver your final tearjerker, but...
Hey!
It's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have any idea what Sakura was actually thinking when she died?
What is this?
What did you say? Everything you just said is nothing but your interpretation, right? Yeah, you know, as insensitive as Monokuma is being right now, he's kind of telling the truth. We don't know exactly what Sakura was thinking. And I don't think it was because of them. I think she just wanted to stop everybody from fighting. And she wanted to take blame because she was the one working with Monokuma, so she's like, I'll take the fault for it. I don't think it's a matter of, her being depressed, like I said. Your own opinion on what her suicide note meant?
What are you saying?
Of course I know what she was thinking, because her and me...
In other words...
Well, I'm really trying to say is... Don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it was really like this?
What the heck?
What is that?
Of course!
Isn't it obvious?
Yep.
And no, Sakura's no. What? But he already...
Too bad.
Oh, I wrote that one. That was all me, baby.
It's true.
This is the one Sakura addressed to Hina and put it in her room.
Huh?
What? Then you lied to me?
Unbelievable.
Oh, don't say lie. It just made it sound so dirty. I just thought I'd liven things up a bit.
Well now,
I can't help it that you totally took my little scribble at face value. It didn't even have Sakura's signature on it. You filthy little... I'm not filthy. I didn't do anything. Did I falsify evidence? Did I affect the outcome of the class trial? That case played out between you and you alone. You were the ones jerking each other around. Heck, even if I had factored in it, it still would have been between you guys. So what's the problem? This is a small part of the production process. Okay, and scene cut. I'm glad you asked. For your benefit, I shall read it using my angelic harmonica narrator voice.
Hey!
But haven't you ever been curious about the whole note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you off yourself in the first place?
But hold on.
And isn't it just so unfortunate? Offing yourself is so final, You can never hear the rest of the story. The truth is lost in the darkness. Gives me the willies. This is so insensitive, Monokuma.
Enough already.
Could you just get it over with, please?
Yes, indeed.
No, okay, jeez. Talk about a buzzkill. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm just gonna read in my normal voice. My good friend Hina, there's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here.
It was our first night in this strange school that the mastermind came to see me.
See, the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool.
You might not see the importance of the dojo, but my family has watched over it for 300 years.
I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch. So even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things.
However, that was my greatest weakness. And because of that, I made a mistake in giving in to the mastermind.
And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder.
They were probably worried that until the first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off and to wait until we reach another stalemate.
However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken.
Watching everyone fight in such despair, trying so desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind. And more than anything...
I cannot betray those who would call me their friend.
That's how I came to feel. So that's why Sakura...
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Of course, because then I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her. Her decision to say true to all you lied directly to me, to all you hating her for it. Ironic, is it? Or maybe oxymoronic, or just moronic.
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness.
I'm perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make on me.
So this is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind.
But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with just me accepting your hatred.
My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me, which is exactly what the mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. The mastermind knew that eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else.
Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well.
I have an obligation to get the situation under control. And to fulfill that obligation, I've decided to do the mastermind as commanded. I will do as I was told. Commit
But
murder.
I've decided the one I'm going to kill is
Yeah.
myself.
If the mastermind demands that I kill someone, then that someone will be me. Then my dojo will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I'm willing to give up my
If
life.
it can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
That's so sad. I've never had people like you in my life.
Huh?
Then Sakura didn't feel cornered? She didn't die hating us?
No way!
She wanted to stop us from fighting to protect us?
Correct.
She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong. Too strong. That is true. I mean, she was willing to give up her life if it meant everybody stopped killing each other. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us. To sacrifice so much, no normal person could do that.
However,
It was her only limitless strength that made it possible.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
The reason I didn't tell you any of this is because I knew you would try to say you would try to stop me. I'm really truly sorry. Please don't be sad. If I could thwart the mastermind's plan, if I can keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the path I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. And you can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. I'm sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please talk to Byakuya, Toko, and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone else about my plan while I'm alive, but I wanted you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then they'll
I
see.
never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible.
Damn, even Toko, huh?
Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
But
This is... I didn't understand how she felt, not at all. I thought we were close and still...
What are you gonna do?
But in the end, all her meddling was like totally pointless.
Oh.
She died so you guys wouldn't kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to you, her death had no purpose at all. In fact, it was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one.
Too bad.
She deserved all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserved it. No, she doesn't deserve it. Monokuma, shut the hell up. Now then, the next victim has been decided. What do you mean, next victim? Nobody here blames anyone.
Huh?
First of all, you're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that fake note. And plus, Sakura's death wasn't
Say
erased.
what?
Because she made us remember, we're not enemies that hate each other. We're friends that need to work together.
You know?
Damn straight. This is all because of our misplaced hatred.
Well,
I don't blame her. I can't blame her, and nobody can blame Hina either.
ooh.
Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered, because the one we need to destroy is you, nobody else.
What? What do you want?
What the heck? That's not how this is supposed to go.
Strange.
But anyway, are you sure about that? This killing game is a competition between all of you, remember?
Hey!
You're enemies each other. He's absolutely right about that.
Phew.
Ah, lovely Byakuya. You understand, don't you?
This is a life or death elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There can only be no doubt those are the rules of the game. Which is why I'm bowing out of the game.
Huh?
Oh!
Naturally.
Sakura and Hina were both willing to sacrifice their own lives to deny the reality of the game. Thanks to them, it will appear that the others have cast aside their fear for this game.
Don't make me repeat myself.
There's no point in participating in this game which has lost a sense of excitement. Which is why I will no longer participate in it.
What?
What's going on here? Now I only have one thing to look forward to.
It's all clear now.
And that is the heap of harshest possible punishment onto one who thinks they can control me. Byakuya, does that mean... Don't misunderstand. I haven't been moved by some thoughtless sentimentalism. If that's what you're thinking. Wherever master goes, I go. If the mastermind turns out to be a guy, maybe I can catch on fire. Everyone! Hey. Well, now can you say Sakura's death had no meaning? How boring. But nothing good comes out of this. I'm still gonna have one fun at a time.
What the heck?
The fun time? Anyway, let's forget about the good-for-nothing backstabber who got back on track.
You want me to punish you guys?
The moment you've all been waiting for. Punishment time!
What?
Wait, but Sakura's technically the killer, right? And she's dead. You're not gonna...
But...
Is it me?
Wrong.
Oh, heavens, no. Just because the Blacken is dead doesn't mean I can't just sub in whatever old student I want. Didn't I tell you I'm very peculiar about the bear timed ones?
Listen up.
Oh, and I spent so much time preparing for my special punishment. It'd be a shame to let it go to waste.
Yahoo!
So for the special punishment, I prepared a special guest. A special guest?
Let's give it everything we've got.
Who?
It's punishment time.
Is it like himself or something? Oh, he found it! He found the laptop! You suck, man! You turned him into a mangled hunk of junk! Ha! That really took it out of me. Maybe I'll go grill up a plate of chicken. After all, they say for post-workout grub, chicken is where it's at. I'm all about grilled goodness. Fried, boiled, give me a break. The color, the smell, the succulent grilled is where it's at.
So...
Damn it! So, we'll never know if Alter Ego found anything! I realize how dangerous this could be, but still, I have to do this. Alter Ego's words raced through my heart and soul, and my disbelief gave away to raw anger. The anger turned to fury, black and muddy, boiling over. It bubbled through my body, quickly overflowing and shouting out of my mouth. How dare you! That was my friend! How dare you kill him!
What's the matter?
Well, you were friends with a laptop. That's pretty pathetic. What's next? Friends with a basketball? Shut the hell up! He wasn't just a laptop, he was my friend. And you killed him. Is this what you call it? Animism? Where a soul dwells within things? Even like laptops? Well, you can call it whatever you want. Bottom line is, it's got away. It was just trying to find things out all sneaky.
Just as I thought.
So you finally noticed him.
Actually...
Finally? No! I knew about it from the very beginning. I knew Chihiro was doing something with the laptop, and I knew you were using it to analyze data. I knew exactly how it was all gonna play out from the start. What?
What are you thinking?
You knew, and you were still cocky enough to let us take the plunge?
Yep.
Well, I mean, the data in the laptop, it was, I guess you could call it a gift from me to you.
Phew.
Or maybe it was like a reward in honor of being such a lock to something so difficult.
Hey,
So, of course, I didn't care if you got access to that. The seeking the network was just too personal, so I had to do a little, reformatting.
I want to be able to help.
Alter Ego wanted to fight for us. He wanted to help and risk his own life. For that, he was killed. Yup, the punishment time had made me feel a billion times better.
Very nice.
Experiencing a meaningless death is so soothing that every low can even get lower. No, his death wasn't meaningless either. Everyone who died so far, the death of each and every one of our friends, they'll make us stronger. I swear to God, someday you will pay for this. Holy moly, you're super mad, just like unreasonably upset.
Well?
Okay, time to bring things to a close. Oh, but before that, I need you to read the postscript.
What?
Postscript?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a little bit left of Sakura's note.
Huh?
Do I have your attention? Okay then, here we go. Prepare your ears for delectant notes of yours. One other thing, Hina. There's something I'd like to tell the others.
Hopefully it will act as a clue to help you unravel the mystery of the school. What? A clue?
Hina.
I've spoken with the mastermind off and on this whole time, and I've been here. And so I've learned one thing, which is the mastermind has done something to us. I think what they've done is Oopsie daisy! That was a close one! Another word and it would have hit deep into spoiler territory.
Too bad.
Okay, I don't want to ruin surprise, so book club is dismissed for today. That is the thing that Kyoko is suspecting them of. Remember the last trial she talked about that. What? You can't just stop the most important bits? It makes your brains rumble and tumble, huh? It makes you so mad that you don't even freaking know, huh?
You guys?
Whole point, stupid. If you get back at all of you for hardening your resolve. Fine, but at least Sakura's no like I'd ever let any of you greaseballs have it. But
Too bad.
sucks for you losers. Wait, what's this?
What?
What is it now?
What?
There's one less sign in the note. And let me just say this to the mastermind. I'm not going to lay down and die. I will fight you, you bastard, no matter what. And that's seriously it. Wow, what a stubborn loser, huh? She won't lay down and die. She'll fight you. What is that about? Well, whatever. Who cares what some dead musclehead has to say?
Well?
Okay, I'm out of here. You guys should try to get some rest, you know? And maybe take some time to reconsider how you approach the school life of yours. Are you sure you don't want to graduate? Can you really cut free from the regrets of the outside world? Think about that. Think long and hard. Those are his parting words before disappearing. But what was all that about? Sakura's final message, her clue to help us solve the mystery of the school? The mastermind did something to us. Kyoko said something like that before, didn't she? It was after Celeste's trials was over. The mastermind did something to our bodies. What are they saying the mastermind did? What did the mastermind do to us? Did the mastermind plan to bomb us or something? And if we try to leave the school, a sensor goes off? And the bomb explodes? I've seen stuff like that in movies and comics and stuff, so it's totally not unheard of. I don't think it's that. No, I feel awful just thinking about it. Can't afford to acknowledge thoughts like that.
Yo!
So the class trial's over and Monokuma's gone.
What?
So now what do we do?
Yes.
What else is there other than to head back up? Oh, yeah, okay, let's get out of here. But, Hina must feel responsible. Dial back that ego a bit, girl. That kind of mystery someone like you could pose is absolutely no threat.
Not possible.
I would never have lost to that kind of challenge. What are you talking about? Kyoko and Makoto are the ones who figured out everything out.
Stop talking.
Shut up. That's kind of true. You were confused. Seriously, I'm sorry. How many times do you plan to apologize? How about you make that the last one? I haven't reached the point where I need someone apologizing to me more than once.
Sorry.
Okay, I see what you mean. Then, I'll try. That totally wasn't normal, right? Did she just capture his flag?
No, 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 no!
I can't suffer the existence of someone who would disturb the romance between me and Master!
Huh?
What are you talking about? That's absolutely not what's happening here! Why would I ever go for a sleazeball like him?
What did you say?
Sleazeball?
What the heck?
That's right, I called you a sleazeball because you are a sleazeball.
See.
Apparently you still have a death wish. Yeah. One more biting sarcasm. No wonder you don't have any friends.
No, 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 no!
Hey, stop fighting with Master. You're making me jealous. I want abusive give and take me. I guess it's not easy for everyone to act like friends. Well, that's how it is for now. What the hell was that anyway? And so Sakura's class trial came to an end and we returned to the world of Hope's Peaks Academy. But the story wasn't even close to over. Time to keep marching on. We all went back to our rooms and before night long snuck up on us. Nighttime descended and pulled me down along with it down into sleep. I couldn't remember the last time I'd fallen in such a deep sleep. But the night still wasn't over for me. A voice. I could hear a voice. What? Wake up. Wake up. Huh? The voice dragged me from a deep slumber into hazy half-consciousness. My eyelids were like lead. Oh! Kyoko?
Kyoko?
Yes, it's me.
Huh? Kyoko?
I said yes.
So Kyoko's here.
Wait, what?
In a flash, I was wide awake. What are you doing in here?
It's true.
I'm here to wake you up. Oh, I see.
Wait, but my door! It was unlocked. You're unbelievably careless. It was unlocked? Are you serious?
Hey.
Always. And you don't have to overreact like that every time you're surprised. What time is it?
Correct.
3 o'clock in the morning. 3 a.m.? Why was Kyoko waking me up at this hour? It's so late. What happened?
Makoto.
I have a favor to ask. Okay, what? What's your favor?
So...
Remember what Sakura said at the end of her note? I'm not going to lay down and die. I will fight you. I want to find out what she meant by that. Okay, but how do you plan to do that? Then Kyoko put her lips next to my ear and whispered. The data center on the 4th floor. What?
Goodbye.
I'll meet you there. Without another word, she was gone. What the? Her words were registered in my half-day's head. The data center? But I thought it was locked. Okay? Maybe we went to the after-hours school and headed to the data center on the 4th floor. Eventually, I wound up in the data center, but when I arrived, Kyoko's not here. That's weird. She said to meet me. Is she maybe inside already? I put my hands at the door with a certain amount of force. It didn't open. Tried again, but it must be locked. What was it Kyoko said? The data center on the 4th floor.
What's this?
Oh, what are you doing up, mister?
Ah! Breaking into a locked room is incredibly prohibited, don't you know? Oh, well, I just...
You're trying to tell me you didn't actually bust in yet, right? But...
Hey!
I can see, adult! Don't waste my time telling me crap, I can see for myself!
Unbelievable.
It looks like you might break in any second, so I just thought I'd give you a friendly reminder! Or are you gonna try and tell me more or you were sleepwalking or something?
No, nothing like that.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning for crying out loud. Even I get tired, you know? Stop being weird and go back to bed!
What's wrong now?
Just a second.
Why are you out here making a racket? Kyoko?
You too?
So he does go to sleep. That kind of confirms something.
Whatever, you two just get back to bed. I'm positively exhausted from the class trial.
It's true.
Sure, you got it. Come on, Makoto, let's head back. What?
Hey,
Didn't you hear me? We're leaving. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
shall we go?
Don't worry about it. Let's just go. Okay.
Yeah, go on, get out of here, shoot!
Interesting. So we left and went back to our rooms. And then...
Goodbye.
Hold on! Listen, what was that all about just now? She woke me up and to get me to the data center, which just so happened to be locked. And then she shows up late and leaves without even checking a single thing? What's the point of all that? Don't worry about it. I figured it would just be the end of a conversation like always, but...
Goodbye.
Well then, good night. Sure. And then that was over. But as I turned to leave...
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Who? What? Kyoko was right next to me once again, whispered into my ear.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
What? I'm so confused. So that's the hidden student. But I'm so confused. What does she have to do with that? Yeah, and 7 question mark? What the Okay, guys, we're gonna end this episode here. That was a really... I feel bad for Sakura because she didn't want anyone to fight, and I will commend her. You know, Kyoko has a point. She's the strongest out of all of them for a reason. She sacrificed herself so that everyone would stop fighting. So I hopefully this will actually cause everyone to kind of come together, because it seems like Byakuya's kind of on board. So I hope this kind of makes everybody come together so that we can fight against Monokuma. But also the new person. Who is that? There's another student and we don't know who she is and what she does. But also it kind of confirms Monokuma does sleep. So that's kind of interesting too. So there's only 2 chapters left of this game. I'm still wondering how this is playing out, but I hope whatever Sakura knows kind of helps us and make sure that no one else dies. It's gonna be kind of hard because not everyone can get along, but I'm hoping that it will help. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Danganronpa, remember to leave a like. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button for more episodes of Danganronpa. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!